Welcome to on tonight's Clubhouse Live. It's a milestone night for us as we celebrate number 350. And what better way to commemorate the occasion than with a magic show? That's right, Packers Hall of Famer Don Majkowski is back. We'll reminisce with Majik about the memorable moments from his career, and we'll also get his take on what he has seen so far from this season's Packer team. Plus, we're going to see what kind of rocker Majik really is as part of tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. It's time to get started, so hey Majik, come on in.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the Fox Club. We're hanging out inside Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. This is the home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, also the home to Clubhouse Live. I am Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin and the Post Crescent. Wow, a standing ovation tonight. How's everybody doing on this Monday evening, right? Wow, great energy. And a great crowd here on our Legends Edition week. So good to have everybody here, and we're going to have a lot of fun with the Magic Man. He has no idea what's in store for him tonight. Let's just say that. So, hey, I want to thank, we don't have him on camera, but how about a round of applause for our little high five group tonight. They are members of the Fox Club and the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, making sure the Magic Man got in here safe and sound. Good job to them. So a good way to get started. Not good to talk about this, though, right? Lions 24, Packers 14. Mistake after mistake after mistake, right? Yeah, I hear some grrrs and some upset people out there, but the Packers committed way too many miscues to take down a bad team, let alone a team as good as the Detroit Lions, as the green and gold fell to the Lions for the third straight time at Lambeau Field. It was a sloppy, rainy, and windy night in Titletown. Drop passes, penalties, 10 of them, by the way. Bad snaps, a very costly pick six, way too much for the banged-up Packers to overcome against the Detroit team that now is in sole possession, remains in sole possession of first place in the NFC North. Not much more to say than that, although I guess, how about Packers did outgain them, right? 411 and 261 in total yards. Did run for 138 yards, but maybe some empty yards at that. The bye week comes at the right time for the Packers, who will look to rest up, get healthy during the break before they take on the Bears in another key NFC North matchup. Mad Vince is here tonight because he doesn't like losing to any team, let alone the Lions, the Bears, anybody. So Mad Vince is here tonight. But Mad Vince becomes Happy Vince when we do our Legends Edition shows. And we got one of the great legends in Packers history sitting right over there. It is Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, the Magic Man. Don Majkowski is here. We'll bring him over here in a minute. Before we get going, a few things I have to get to. First, a thank you to our presenting sponsors, Cellcom Local IQ, and now Piggly Wiggly has joined the fun. Black Friday is starting early at Cellcom, now through the end of today, people. You can choose a smartphone for just $1 per month and get those stocking stuffers ready with buy one, gift one free on all connected watches, tablets, and cameras. Mix and match to spread the love and cheer. Visit cellcom.com for details. With over 20 years of digital marketing experience, Local IQ delivers results through cutting-edge innovation, now featuring AI-powered solutions to help you attract, convert, and retain more customers with their award-winning technology. And did you guys know Thanksgiving just around the corner already? Piggly Wiggly has all your holiday essentials, including turkeys, hams, the freshest produce, and everything else you need for the perfect Thanksgiving feast. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly and get ready to celebrate Piggly Wiggly. Shop the pig. All right. You know, a guy likes Thanksgiving is our next, the member of our Clubhouse Live crew, and you can kind of tell it by his chubby little belly over there. This is his favorite time of year. It is when I have to introduce the worst member of our Clubhouse Live crew. It is the one and thankfully the only Chicago Bears fan, Ricardo Arguello.
Yes, Brett. Boomy. I am actually looking forward to Thanksgiving, Brett. You know, I have a little bit of the case of the overnourishment going on.
You sure do.
And I do enjoy a good Thanksgiving meal. So
Shop
go
the
ahead,
pig.
lay it on me. My Bears look terrible.
Your
For the
last
first time
place.
this year, they looked terrible.
The last place,
Last
Chicago
place.
Bears.
I have nothing to say other than let's get on to those terrible Patriots.
What is going on
Hopefully
with that
they
guy,
get
Tyreek Stevenson? Now he pulls himself out of practice this week? What's
He
going
did.
on there?
What happened was he got upset because he got demoted.
Oh, is that how this works?
But
with
then, so he left, and then he came back and finished off the rest of the practice. And then he ended up playing, though, in the game.
Yeah,
so.
well, it's a bad culture there. The Bears have won
No.
their final game of the season.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost panic time. Yes.
We'll ask the Magic Man what he thinks about you and your Bears.
Please
in a little
do.
bit,
And by the way, Magic Man, if you could please treat the Bears footing there with the proper respect.
He's sitting there laughing at you right now already. I mean, you know how he feels about the Chicago Bears. So I tell you what, Ricardo, this is an interactive show as always.
It is. So we invite your comments and questions through that live chat. Brett, they're already talking. They're already gabbing on here. That can be found next to our USA Today Wisconsin Network Wisconsin YouTube video stream. I am monitoring that chat. Any question that they might have for you or Don, I will get right over to you.
Majik, all right?
Magic
That's
Man.
what you call him.
Magic,
You
yes.
call him Magic. So, all right. Yeah, Twitter or X, Clubhouse Live is the hashtag. I'm on there at PC Brettsy, Ricardo DeLeon, at DMagic7. And as always, like us on Facebook, please, facebook.com/Clubhouse Live and Packers News. So the Bears welcome mat is on the floor for Don to stomp his feet all over, right? Because it is Bears week coming up. Tonight's guest, he played in 10 NFL seasons, including 6 with the Packers. He was selected by the Packers in the 10th round of the 1987 NFL Draft. He started 49 of the 68 games in which he appeared with the Packers. That included all 16 games during that blood pressure-raising and exciting, right, 1989 season in which he led the league in completions, attempts, passing yardage, and who knows what else, and leading Green Bay to a 10-6 record. He also was the main driver in creating that big buzz in Titletown that hadn't been experienced in years. Our guest tonight finished second in 1989 in league MVP voting. He became the first Packers quarterback since the legendary Bart Starr in 1966 to be selected to the Pro Bowl when he did so in '89. He earned second-team All-Pro mention in 1989. He was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame in 2005. Tonight's guest was absolutely and positively behind the line of scrimmage. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, he was, Ricardo. Tonight's guest is a cool dude. He is a tough dude. Look at him right now. He's coming in a sling. He's a great friend of the show. He helped usher the Packers' dominance of the Bears. And did you know this? He's a pretty good actor. Did you know that, Ricardo? He's a good actor. More on that much, much later in the show. But for now, how about another great Clubhouse Live welcome for the Magic Man, the legendary Green Bay Packers quarterback, number 7. It's Don Majkowski, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Thanks to everybody for coming out, first of all. Wow, it's a great crowd. Thank you for everybody, seriously.
How about that? Yeah, great crowd. Give yourselves another round of applause. This is
Yeah,
fantastic.
thank you.
They still love you, Magic Man. They still love you.
Packer fans are the best, you know. All the old players, when we come back, we get such nice welcome by all the fans. It's overwhelming. It's awesome.
Well, it's awesome. I tell you what's awesome? You're awesome because this is one of my all-time favorite shows. When you're coming on, I look forward to it. I said, what date is Don Majkowski going to be here? And this is almost a very special date. More on that later on in the show as well. But this is your 3rd straight season being here, despite Ricardo's nonsense over there. And did you know not only is it special that you're here, you are here on our milestone 350th show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Show number 350.
Nice. That's really cool. You guys do a great job here. I love coming back. This is my 3rd year, I think, right, in a row.
3rd year in a row?
Yeah, I was for doing this, so I love doing it. We always get a great crowd. You're a lot of fun. And Ricardo, he's what he is. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he has no words over there, folks. No words. But so we'll have a little cake after the show. But who knows if we can make 400? So that's why we have to celebrate these milestones as they come, right?
Yep.
But we're going to get to what's going on here in a little while. But this is what I want to say. We have another milestone to celebrate. It was today is what, November 4th?
Yeah.
It was November 5th, 1989, 35 years ago, almost to the day, that this guy threw the legendary 14-yard touchdown pass to Sterling Sharp that beat the stinking Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field 14-13 in the legendary instant replay game. 35 years ago, how is that even possible?
I mean, I was only 25 years old in 89, and it's 35 years ago. That's insane. But still, that November 5th game against the Bears was still probably one of my favorite moments for me as a Green Bay Packer. Not beating the Bears for 8 games for 4 years in a row, and then to finally take them down in Lambeau Field in 1989 in such dramatic fashion in the way we did with the instant replay game and everything. It was special. And the Packer fans, I mean, they didn't forget, and they love it, And then everybody says, that's where the slogan came. After further review, the Bears still suck,
Yeah. Go ahead and say it, Don.
Where it
Go
came.
ahead, Magic Man. Say it loud and proud. 35 years ago. And by the way, did you know earlier this year you turned 60? Say it ain't so, Don Majkowski.
42.
42
told
years
you
old.
60.
Huh? This guy looks good for 60 years old, doesn't he? Look at him. He looks like he can still get out there and play a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
Still got a little bit back there.
It's about all I can do, man. I'm trying to.
You're trying to bring the
little
mullet
bit
back,
of the mullet,
right?
but it's all I could get.
60 years old.
Yeah, man.
Well, take us through
it's
that.
crazy.
Take us through that play again a little bit, right? What comes to your mind? What are the absolute instant things that come to mind when you think about that dramatic play?
Okay, this is a good story. So, a lot of people, they forget. All they remember is the touchdown pass, right? Well, luckily, I had that opportunity because the 2 previous drives in that fourth quarter, we had the ball down our 10-yard line, and we drove the ball all the way downfield. We were inside the Bears 10 with, 7 minutes to go, and I rolled out to the right, and I threw a pick, intercepted Ron Rivera, who ended up being the
Sure.
coach of the NFL. So then our defense held the Bears after they intercepted. They punted to us. We got the ball like on a 10-yard line, drove all the way down again. I went back to pass, and I got hit, and I fumbled, and they recovered. So the Boo Birds were out like, oh, my gosh, this is awful, right? And I went to the sidelines, and Coach Infante grabbed me by the face mask, and he said, keep your head up because you're still going to be the hero of this game. I was like, I hope you're right. So we did, and then we got the ball for a third time way back in our own end zone, in our end, drove all the way down the field again, and we had a couple penalties, and it came down to that 4th and 16, and you had to have a touchdown. We were down by 6. It was 4th and 16 from the 16, and you had to have a touchdown because of the penalties we had. And to be able to come through on 4th down and 16 that's hard. And the way we did it was totally improvised. I totally aborted the play because we thought they were going to come with an all-out blitz, right? They were blitzing us, hitting me hard, blitzing us. So Coach Infante called. We had 4 receivers spread out, right? And Sterling was all the way to the left. And we were expecting them to blitz again, and we were just going to throw a short, quick 6-yard slant route. He would catch it and go into the end zone. Well, as soon as I was in the shotgun, I got the snap, and they were all up like they were coming to blitz, and they dropped back to a zone, and I'm like, we're in trouble because a slant route's not very good against the zone. So I just started immediately scrambling, and I said, I got to buy some time.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, here we go. I said, I got to make something happen, and I just started improvising, scrambling, got out of the pocket, avoided a few guys, and was getting real close to the sideline, and then I was getting real close to the line of scrimmage as well, and just had a last-second heave. I saw Sterling, who came from all the way opposite side of the field, and he made his way all the way over, and it was a awesome play. But it was totally improvised, and one of the great plays, man. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, just to think, make sure when you're holding the mic, don't hold this part because they're real finicky that we notice right now. So just hold it right here so we can always hear you. And secondly, I wanted to ask you, if you watch the YouTube of that play, it looks like Mike Singletary says something to you.
He did.
What did he say? Was it something nice or was it something a little, not so
Wasn't nice.
Okay, it didn't look like it was nice based on his face. Can you give us this is a family show.
Okay.
Can you give us the cleaned up version of what he told you?
Pretty much, ain't no bleeping magic today, bro.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, it's not over yet, because we were still waiting for the review, so.
Well, it turned out to be a little bit more magic than he anticipated, huh?
Yeah, man,
Did you go
it was
say
awesome.
something to him back then
No,
after that? No,
I didn't. No, didn't. But we got him again in December. We played him again in December. That was the year. So in '89, we beat him twice. So we got him again in December. So that was an also 45 to 24 game or something like that. That was also a good win.
Well, I tell you what, we'll let Bill come here and do what he's got to do, but that did snap an 8-game losing streak to the Bears and kind of kick-started the Packers' dominance over Chicago since, like you said, you swept them that season. And hey, Rosie, can you put up the photo again of Exhibit A, as we like to call it? There it is. There you are. There you are. You are 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage, Ricardo, right? The ball was even behind the line of scrimmage.
You
Ricardo.
can't tell from that angle.
There's no way his arm was 3 yards long.
You can't tell. Listen, Brett, listen. Last year, I extended the olive branch to Don. Remember, Don, we had a nice little moment there. Listen, I'm at peace. I'm at peace with the call. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I'm at peace with it. I forgive you, Don. I forgive you for breaking my heart, even though you weren't behind. I forgive you. I'm at peace with it. Let's turn the page.
No, let's not turn the page, Majik.
Having a hard time with this.
Oh, is this one okay?
Hang on. Here we go. Can you hear me?
There we go. We got you.
You got it? Okay, so Ricardo, yeah. But seriously, when you watch that thing, in all seriousness, what was the ball on the 14, right?
Well, it was on the 14, 14-yard pass.
And yeah, you can see my foot right there is on the 15.
Ball behind too.
It's a yard behind. It's not where the ball or your arm ends up. Even if my hand would have went over the 14-yard line, that's still a good pass. It's just like a basketball player. Like if he's saving a ball from going out of bounds and he jumps from the court inbounds and he's floating out of bounds and he catches the ball and he throws it back in, that's good. As long as his foot was behind the sideline or wherever he's trying to save the ball, same thing. So I hate when people say I was over.
What I love about Don is he has this answer already.
He's ready. He's ready for you,
And he
Ricardo.
makes a good point. I'm not saying you don't make a good point, Don. I'm just saying I forgive you.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
like
I'm
how
saying.
he forgives you, Magic Man. I like how he
Thank you.
just forgives you, right? So,
Yes, sir.
And by the way, I'm not saying it wasn't an excellent play. Hell of a throw. Awesome catch. Fine. It was a great play. I'm just telling you.
Get the asterisks out of that media guide once and for all, right?
Oh,
That
man.
Did you ever talk to any of those players after, years afterwards, any of the Bears players? And Mike Ditka, did you ever talk to him about the play in years later, or was that just kind of a taboo thing?
I don't think I saw. I mean, I've seen some Bear players since then. A lot of the defensive linemen, Richard Dent, Fridge. I didn't see Singletary, but Ditka. Later that year, we did we were on a sideline for the NFC Championship game, and they had a thing called the Miller Lite Player of the Year thing. And at halftime, they had Ditka, and they brought me in, and they were talking because I was a finalist for Miller Lite Player of the Year. So they had me on stage with Ditka, and it was a little awkward. And my contract was up after that year, so they asked him, "Hey, to Ditka, Majkowski's contract's up this year. How do you think he'd look in a Bears uniform?" And Ditka goes, "Man, he'd probably look good in any uniform, but he wasn't. I don't know if he meant it. I don't know if he meant it. But
He was saying the right.
yeah,
thing,
no,
right?
he still does not like to talk about that, though. I heard.
Let it go, Ditka.
Ditka
For
does not
heaven's
like that.
sakes,
Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah.
Well, that '89 team, real quick, you finished 10-6, right? You beat the San Francisco 49ers, a great 49ers team. You gave the Niners their last loss. Niners go on to they went 14-2, I think, in the regular season, cruise to the Super Bowl.
Right.
What is the legacy of that 1989 team in the history of the Green Bay Packers? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, and you know what? I get this feedback from the fans all the time, and we went 10-6, and we had so much going on. We had so much momentum going on. Unfortunately, we still did not make the playoffs, but it was the first year in so many years that the Packers were finally making a difference and competing, and brought some relevance and excitement back to Packer Nation. And fans always tell me this, like, hey, you're the reason we really started becoming a Packer fan again, like, because there were so many down years. Not that they're fair weather, because they're not, but they said it really made them excited. And, to get everybody back excited again, rejuvenate the spirit, Packer Nation, it's a cool thing, and we really had something going on, and we made it exciting, and that's what people tell me the most, and I can live with that.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. In fact, yeah, go ahead and clap, sure. It kind of really you were the guys that really kick-started this era that we're still enjoying, right? It goes from
Right.
Majik to Favre to Rodgers to Love, and all of these great winning seasons, exciting seasons. You guys were the first ones that really kind of brought that back to title. You think 10-6, the Vikings also finished 10-6 that season. They win the tiebreaker because they had a better division record than you. If the playoffs were formatted like they are today, you guys would have been in the postseason. You ever think, what do you think you could have done had you gotten in?
It's a great point, because the teams that get hot at the end of the year are the teams that are dangerous come playoff time. And we won the last 5 out of our 6 games, and we were playing so well. And without a bunch of all-pro players, let me mention, you know what I mean? I mean, we had Sterling Sharp as our all-pro receiver, but other than that, man, we had, just a bunch of blue-collar guys that just brought their work pail, their lunchbox to work, and just worked hard and did the job. And Lindy Infante, the coach, he doesn't get his the respect that he deserves, because he was really an awesome coach, and the job that he did learning his system, he was outstanding. He was such a good coach, and he was such a great teacher, a great friend, and just we all loved playing for him. And back then, though, in that era with the general manager they had back then, it was tough, because they were still in that mode where they didn't go out and spend a lot of money to get the big-time free agents. That wasn't really until Ron Wolf came in. Everybody knows that. And that changed everything in Green Bay when they started going out and getting all the top players. And then everybody was excited to come to Green Bay. But it was tough during my era. It really was.
Right.
A lot of guys didn't want to come here, but for the guys that were, we loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, that 1989 team, that great team. A few more things, and then, Ricardo, it's time for some audience questions. I know you got a couple. But listen, how you feeling? I want to ask this. Now, you're coming in the sling, all right? Since we last saw you, I think you've had, maybe 2 more surgeries or 1 more surgery, a shoulder surgery. I don't know if you had both shoulders done, but there's like 26, 27 post-season or post-career surgeries. You're like the bionic man right now. You're bigger, faster, stronger. You can do all these great things. But how are you feeling right now, Majik? And what's going on here?
It's been hard, man. My post-playing career has I had a lot of surgery. This was my 28th surgery on my whole, different body parts.
Wow.
Right? And I had a torn rotator cuff. But listen, this is my 3rd surgery in 6 months for my rotator cuff.
Wow.
I had surgery in January, and I was wore a sling for 6 weeks. It re-tore. I had surgery, the same surgery again in June, and same thing. It just re-tore. And I came to Green Bay, and I was not expecting having to have surgery when I came up here in the fall. And the Packers orthopedic set me up, and we did an MRI, and it was torn again.
Wow.
So I got set up with right across the street.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hand and Shoulder Center over there, Dr. Hannigan.
Yeah.
Shout out. He did a great job, and hopefully this 3rd time will do the trick, because, yeah, it's been every January after a full year, I have had some kind of surgery like in the last 10 years. I mean, I got my ankles fused, my lower back is fused, my neck is fused, a hip replacement last January, 3 shoulders this January, this year. It's been tough, man, and playing in the NFL is tough.
Yeah.
And you never think it's going to really affect you when you get older, but it certainly does, man. And it's, it is what it is, though, I guess.
I want to ask you this before we kick over to Ricardo, but I always open up our Facebook page for some questions for tonight's guest. We always select one, but one of the common themes this week with you being on was ask him if he would do it all over again, with considering what you've gone through. And then you saw Brett Favre's recent diagnosis, right? Parkinson's, and your former teammate. I know you're close with Favre, and
Yep.
I guess, would you do it knowing that if you had to go through all this again, would you do it again?
I know, this is funny because I answer it this way. If I could come back in this day and era, hell yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What they're playing these guys in this era, and you can't hit the quarterback, pretty much. Yeah, I would come back in this era. In my era, I don't want to answer that actually, but I would definitely come back in this era, man. It's just insane what these guys are making now. Good for them. I mean, I'm not jealous, envious. Good for them.
Yeah.
And not just that, Don, aren't you, your playing style would fit perfectly in this day and age, wouldn't you? Because, the quarterback, they need them to be athletic and moving around.
Yep, exactly. There's so many mobile quarterbacks nowadays, and it's a different system that they run. They're always in a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
They're riding with the run pass option, type thing, and throwing short passes. Yeah, that would have fit me perfect. So that would be fun, man. You know what? These guys, what's like Jordan Love making $55 million a year? Why would you want to play more than 1 year? That's all you need, 1 year.
Yeah.
Shit, retire, man. It's like.
Hey, get that shoulder good, Magic Man, and maybe just get back there for a few snaps. You're good to go. You're good to go.
I would try, man. Get a quarter out of me, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, Ricardo, it's your turn. I know you have some audience questions.
That's right. We have a question for you, Don. This is from Louis Murtis. Louis, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
That's fine. We saw you on stage with Hoodie and the Blowfish at Summerfest in Milwaukee years ago. Just
Right.
wondering how you got to know the band or how you met them.
Okay. Yeah, she said, I played with Hoodie and the Blowfish. I played with them like 8 times in concerts all over. In Atlanta, I played. In Miami. How I met Hoodie the Blowfish, Darius Rucker's a good friend of mine now, was like, back then, we used to always play in these quarterback celebrity golf tournaments, and I was playing in Dan Marino's celebrity golf tournament. We all come in to support his charity, whatever it was, and there's a lot of athletes there, a lot of quarterbacks, there's a lot of actors there, and there's a lot of musicians there. Eddie Van Halen I met, was playing golf, and I got to meet Darius Rucker, and we were talking. He was a fan. He came up and introduced himself. And I said, I'm a big fan of your guy, of you as well. And I said, by the way, I play guitar, I sing a little bit, and I know a lot of your songs. And they were giving a benefit concert the next night for Marino's Foundation. And they said, well, do you want to play with us tomorrow night? And I said, absolutely. So they said, show up at 12 noon, and when we do sound check, we'll give you a rehearsal, audition, and we'll see if you can sing or not, or play. And I did it, and Darius goes, okay, we did Let Her Cry, and he said, okay, you're me. So you got the song with the band, and so I did it, and my audition went well, and they brought me up, and then that was how we met. And I did it a bunch of times after that, and it's been fun.
Very good.
Yeah.
Great question.
All
The
right, thank you,
rocker.
Lois.
The
Here you
rocker QB, right?
Yeah.
All right. By the way, Don, as we have Tracy, she's going to ask the second question here. But what did you think about Rutgers switch it over to kind of country kind of stuff? Did you like that kind of conversion for him?
I do. I mean, I'm a big country guy, and Darius, Hoodie the Blowfish, he did awesome, and they're still good friends. They still play. They tour a little bit. But, I mean, he's taken it to the next level. And since he's gone country and taken it to the next level, it's really hard to get a hold of him nowadays. Yeah, he doesn't text back as much. But no, he's fantastic, and good for him because he's one of my favorites, really.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ricardo,
Tracy
got a friend of
Santos
the
has a
show right
question
there,
for
yeah.
Don.
Hey,
Here we go,
Trace.
Tracy. Go ahead.
Did you ever play through an injury and then regret it because you thought it might have cost the team the win that day?
Tough question.
No, but when I left Green Bay, I played 2 years in Indianapolis, and then I played my last 2 years in Detroit. And before the season started in 1995, I played Detroit, 95, 96. Before the 95 season, I was working out. I was actually playing racquetball with the kicker, Jason Hansen. And the ankle that I hurt when Favre took over, I really messed it up again playing racquetball. And I had to have surgery right before the season, like in June. And then by the time the preseason and camp started, my ankle was like about 60% healed. And I missed the first preseason game. I missed the second preseason game. And then Coach Fonz came to me and said, hey, are you going to be our backup this year or not? Because are you going to be hurt all year or what? So the third game, I had to play. And, did whatever it took to numb the pain and destroyed I played all preseason, like for the rest of preseason games and the whole rest of the season with it. And after that, I had to retire. I trashed my ankle. So it was several games, but not one game. I was pretty lucky.
Great question.
Great question, Tracy.
Yep. Answer. Thank you for the audience questions tonight.
Thank you.
Let's do this, Majik. We're going to take a quick timeout. I know you love these. We're going to do a stat pack, right? We got some stats here.
Okay.
We're going to, Ricardo, credit the Twitter account or X account at Historic Packers for this eyebrow-raising nugget. Listen to this. The Packers have scored a combined 4 touchdowns in their last 3 matchups against the Lions at Lambeau Field. 4 touchdowns in those 3 games against the Lions at home. They scored 1 on Sunday, 2 in a 34-20 Week 4 setback last season, and then 1 in a 20-16 loss in the 2022 season finale. Detroit, boy, after struggling against the Packers in Wisconsin for many, many years, now seem to have Green Bay's number when playing here at Lambeau Field. And by the way, the Packers are 28-6 against the Lions in Wisconsin. Remember, Green Bay also played in Milwaukee County Stadium, so you're back in your era for sure. But 3 of those 6 losses, and this dates back to the 1992 season, 3 of those 6 losses have come since the 2022 season. That record includes the playoffs. So Detroit suddenly has become a thorn in the Packers' side, right? Detroit has won 5 of the past 6 contests against the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see if they can turn that around here.
Hey, they're for real. They're really good.
Are.
They're a really good football team. They have everything going on right now. They got a great running game, unbelievable running game with their 2 backs, and passing game's great. Their defense is good, even with the injury with Hutchinson. They can do it all, and they've been beating everybody. I mean, the record shows it. So we lost to a really good football team yesterday. There's no shame in that, but we can regroup and pick it back up where we left off. But Detroit's they're a problem.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask you a little bit about the Lions, considering that he is a former Lion as well. But hey, Ricardo, first, we have trivia tonight, don't we?
And not just that, we do have rules, so here they are. First off, we'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, please don't shout it out. You're just helping the next person. Raise your hand. And if you're correct, you win what, Brett?
Well, we have these great prizes, again, from the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Check this out. We have pickleball paddles from the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Pickleball is a big sport right now, and we have this Timber Rattlers cap as well. So that's some great stuff.
Yeah, but once you win, Brett, you're out for the rest of the show. And sorry, live chatters, you got to be here to win.
All right, Majik, I want you to look again at who raises his or her hand first. I'm going to ask the first question. Here we go. Now, Majik was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame in 2005. That class of inductees also included this former running back who was a key member of the Packers' 1996 Super Bowl championship team. Right here, this man right here.
There you go.
Yes, Edgar Bennett, come on up. I'll let you pick which prize you want. You get the bell. You can come on up and pick. You want the pickleball or you want the Rattlers cap. But yeah, I was going to say the hint was Edgar considered a mutter. Yeah, one of these two, you want to pick. Take them both. They come as a set so that you can play with your lovely little girl right there, right? So Edgar Bennett, an outstanding all-around running back, also a reliable receiver, 6 seasons in Green Bay. He rushed for over 1,000 yards in '95. Currently the wide receivers coach with the Raiders. He also won a 2nd Super Bowl ring with the Packers as a member of Mike McCarthy's coaching staff in 2010. All right, I want to ask you, Majik, about the current Packers here. But I want to do this. We'll kind of go down memory lane really quickly, but we did this last year with you about your career. But I want to go down a little bit memory lane, and I want you to get some real brief thoughts on the 3 coaches you played for in Green Bay, okay?
Okay.
So Rosie put the first one up. This is Majik's first coach during his rookie season, right? Forrest Gregg. There he is, the legendary Forrest Gregg. That was your head coach for your rookie season. What do you remember about this guy, right? Tough, hard-nosed, Vince Lombardi-like style, right?
Yeah, you took the words. I mean, he's tough dude. Old school. Played for, was an offensive tackle for Lombardi. No nonsense. The guy was just, like I said, he was tough, strict, and but he took a liking to me early on. Yeah, he really did. He liked my
He thought you were Paul
moxie.
Hornung,
Huh?
right? He thought you were Paul Hornung reincarnated, I think, right?
I know. I had to wear number 5 my rookie
Yes.
year. I don't know if everybody remembers that, but I was like, are you kidding me? But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But, yeah, Forrest liked me, and he put me in as a rookie the second game of the season, and I started a couple games. We tied Denver in the first game. We beat Detroit in the second game, and then we went on NFL strike for 4 years, and, that kind of messed up the momentum, but still played a bunch as a rookie. But, yeah, Forrest liked me, and I was always grateful that he drafted me, so, yeah.
Forrest Gregg, the great Forrest Gregg, yeah, one of Lombardi's, what do you call him, one of the greatest, maybe the greatest player he ever coached, I think is what he said.
Scariest moment in the locker room as a coach, though, talking to coaches, man. We were playing someone, and something wasn't going on like the way he wanted, and he picked up. Well, these young kids won't remember. Remember the overhead projectors?
Oh, yeah.
He used to, he picked up one of those at halftime and threw it into the wall, like bam, it went all over the place. We're like, holy,
yeah,
crazy, man. It was like, yeah, that was the first time I saw that. It was the only time I ever saw something like that. Yeah,
probably wouldn't fly nowadays, would it?
No.
Hey, Ro, you kind of touched on this guy next, but Rose, you put him up there, right? Lindy Infante, right? Your coach for, what was it, 4 seasons in Green Bay, including that great 1989 season. Then he was also your head coach, I believe, right, when you played for the Colts. He was the head coach there, too, correct?
He was, but I just missed him.
Oh, he wasn't there?
With the Colts.
Okay, you missed him with the Colts?
No, I went on to Detroit. I didn't know he was coming to the Colts. I would have stayed.
Okay.
But by far my favorite coach.
Okay.
Lindy was, gosh, he was such a great guy. And players, we loved him. Funny, great teacher. And he was the head coach, but he was also the offensive coordinator. So as a quarterback, our quarterback room, our meetings all day were Lindy and all the quarterbacks in a big conference room. And working with him every day was just so much fun. And like I said, he really had a great system. He knew what he was doing and just brought fun to work. Like he would come into work every day with a different question. He's like, Donnie, what do you call the real shape of a football? And I'm like, what? He's like, a prolate spheroid. It's called the prolate spheroid. And I'm like, really? Crazy stuff like that. He'd come in every day with some stupid questions, and it just made it fun, But I loved him a lot, man. He was great. Yeah.
Really brought the offense back to Green
sure.
Bay with you. And, then your last one. Let's put him up there, Rosie. You spent one season, your final season in Green Bay with this guy. There he is, Mike Holmgren, right? 1992, your final season, as I said. Some thoughts about Mike Holmgren. He's one of the finalists for the coaching finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But could you tell early on that this guy's got it going? He's trying to change the culture a little bit, and there was another no-nonsense guy in him too, right?
Yeah, Mike was another guy who was a great teacher, and he was a high school teacher before he got into football. He's a great teacher, and when he was in San Francisco learning from Bill Walsh, he had Joe Montana, Steve Young. He had some great quarterbacks to work with, and when he came to Green Bay, I met with him before the season, and he was excited to work with me. He's like, you're our starter, hands down. I know what they traded for Brett, but he was so young. They weren't expecting much from him, early on. And he's like, you're going to be our guy, man. You've got the skills to really flourish in this West Coast offense. I was excited for it, and unfortunately, injuries. I got hurt in the third game of the season, right? Yeah, third game of the season, and Brett took over, and that was my stint with Holmgren. Yeah. But Holmgren, he grabbed me when I got hurt. He grabbed me and he said, "Okay, look," and I was out like 10 weeks with this ankle injury, and he goes, "Okay, look, you could really mess things up here with the team by being a jerk to Brett or having a bad attitude." He goes, "Man, I would really appreciate it if you could help the kid along, teach him a little bit what it takes to be a professional, and that would be that would be greatly appreciated. And it was easy because Brett and I hit it off. We were friends, you know. I mean, the guy's a funny guy. I mean, he was back then. He was very young. He was immature and wild, and really good though. I mean, his arm was unbelievable. I mean, it wasn't very accurate back then, but it was a cannon. So I did help him out a lot because that West Coast offense, the terminology in that West Coast offense was so difficult. And so we really helped each other. I helped him a lot. And then in the weight room, I'm like, dude, you got to work out. He was heavy, way out of shape. I said, you got to work out, man. If you're the quarterback, you got to lead by example. You know, you got to lead all your guys. They got to see you working hard for them to follow you, you know. And so I helped them in that sense. And, you know, ever since then, you know, I mean, hey, everybody always asks me, are you jealous of him? Or do you guys get along? Do you hate each other? I was like, hey, I got hurt. It wasn't his fault I got hurt. He had to go in and do what he had to do. So now we're still good friends. I did 3 appearances with him this offseason.
Okay.
Some speaking engagements. So I saw him 3 times, and we still always have a good time. So, yeah.
Good.
But Holmgren was a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I bet you he would really like that picture. He was pretty skinny
He
there.
was a skinny mini there. He's put on a little weight there since
Put
then,
on a
right?
few pounds,
Put
man.
on a few pounds, so no doubt about it. Well, I tell you what, let's talk briefly about the season's team. And first, we're going to start it out by our Clubhouse Live gift of the night. What do you have for us, Rosie, up there? Do we have a good gift? Oh, whoa, look at the vintage Don Majkowski right there. Look at that. Look at that. You're doing some magic tricks, right? Getting everybody happy after that dismal performance.
You know what's
yesterday.
so funny about that? It's so funny because I was on Instagram today.
Yes.
And they showed Aaron Rodgers warming up in the game this past Sunday. And he was trying to do that twice, and he couldn't quite do it. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you could do it. You could, yeah, absolutely.
I did one thing better than...
You could do it wearing that sling right now.
That was about the only thing I could do better than Aaron Rodgers because that dude was legit. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, what Majik? I know you spent a lot of your fall here in Titletown, right? Before you head back down, I think, to Atlanta, where you live, you and your wife. But what's your take on these 6-3 Packers right now? Is it, you know, they're in the hunt, but there's something seems a little off right now. And I guess what's your impressions of watching these guys?
They're in the hunt. Trust me, this is a really good football team. Unfortunately, Jordan's been up and down because he's dealing with some kind of injury, the knee or it was groin last week. I know he wasn't 100% last week. We were very lucky when Malik Willis came in for 2 games. He did great. LaFleur had a great game plan, and they executed so well what Malik does well, and they won 2 games, and then he came in, you know, the week before and led the come from behind victory. Really did a great job. But Jordan, once he starts, if he can get healthy, now that we got a bye this week, so this is going to be a really good, important time for him to get healthy, and I think he will. And then we pick it up and get the Bears.
Yes.
That's right. Our next game after this bye, right?
Great.
In Chicago.
At Chicago.
Yeah, so they're really good, though. I think they're really good. And I love Jacobs, the running back. I love the receivers. I mean, they got 5 really good receivers. 3 really good tight ends. I mean, they're stacked. So you can't really measure yourself against Detroit. They're just really good. So we'll get everybody healthy, and we can make some noise.
I'll get back to Jordan in a second, but you mentioned the receivers. But they got to catch the ball, Majik, man. They got to catch the ball. What's going on with these drops, and what's going on with all these penalties? How do you clean all of that stuff up?
Penalties, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awful. The penalties were awful, and I mean that's just concentration, man. They got to tighten that up and dropping the ball. These guys, you can't worry about it. You just got to overlook it, forget about it, turn the page, because these guys can catch. They can make plays, and Jordan will get it going. And he just still needs to learn. I mean, he's still so young. I mean, what is this? He played 5 games last year. A season last year, and then this year's it's only his 2nd year, right?
Yeah, but a year and a half of a starter.
Yeah, a year and a
basically.
half. So as a young quarterback, the hardest thing to do as a young quarterback is when there's nothing there on a specific play, on a given play, to accept the defense won on that down. But when you're young, you don't want to accept that. We had a saying, know when the journey's over. throw it out of bounds. Don't try to make too much happen, you know. And he's still, I mean, he's getting, you know, when he's getting sacked, falling down, he's trying to still make ridiculous throws, and he's getting in trouble with that. So he'll get over it. I know I did the same thing, you know, same stupid thing. So he'll get over it, and that'll just come with more experience. So.
But with Jordan, I know Ricardo.
But he's you know what? I'm a big fan of his, and I met him this summer for the first time. I couldn't believe how big he was in person. I shook his hand. It was like shaking a stack of bananas. His hand was huge, you know. He's 6'4", and just a big guy, man.
Yeah.
So, and a great kid.
Friend of the show. He's been on a couple times when he was a backup. But I was going to ask before. I know Ricardo's got an online question, but do you think the injuries are plaguing him or are playing more of a role, right? I mean, that knee's never been fully healthy, right? And then it came back after 2 weeks, but he still had the brace on, so he's still trying to heal from that. And then the groin, maybe there was a compensation thing. So I have to think that's playing some part in the fact that he's a little erratic and maybe throwing some picks that maybe normally he wouldn't.
Yeah, the game before this last one, who did we play again?
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Yep.
My head and memory, not great. He was hurting during that game. You could just tell he wasn't his normal self, and you know, it just you're gonna throw off balance because you're favoring things, and you're a little worried about, you know, re-injuring it, and then he hurt his groin, and groins are no joke, man. Those things are tough to get over. So hopefully, like I said, with this bye, he'll get enough rest and overcome that. But when he's healthy, and just stay fundamentally sound, man, he still throws off his back foot a lot. And he's so talented that he can get away with it, but I'd like to still see him step into his throws a little bit more and follow through, not throw off his back foot so much. And that'll come. That'll come.
Experience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
And confidence, yeah.
Ricardo, you got something online.
Amanda from online, you know, we were talking about top teams, or both of you were. They want to know what Don's Super Bowl prediction is already. Not even halfway through the season, yeah.
Well, he better not say his Detroit Lions, Ricardo, right?
Although
they do look good.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good pick, man. Detroit in the NFC. I mean, they're good. Don't sleep on. I hate to say this, man, but Minnesota is good too.
No, we don't say that.
I know.
We don't say that in this room.
Watch it, Don.
You got a Viking fan back there.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, hate the scroll. Cool.
Yes.
Hey, we have a great chance. I mean, we get our stuff going. I mean, we have a really good chance. A very talented team. I like our chances to make some damage. But Detroit right now, the way they're playing, I would say they're probably the favorite from the AFC. For the NFC. AFC, I mean, Kansas City's undefeated until someone beats them. We'll see if they can lose tonight versus Baker Mayfield in Tampa.
Yeah.
They play. So they're 7-0, and nobody's beaten them yet. And, I mean, they're very depleted, too, with injuries, but they're just finding a way to win.
They're chasing history, right? Going for that third straight Super Bowl championship. But, hey, Ricardo, I want to keep it on you. How about tonight's social media question?
That's right. So we do have a media question here. It's Nancy Bolyor on Facebook. She wants to know how, this is for Don, how do you like the new enhanced alumni suite at Lambeau Field, and are you able to use it every home game? She also has some more questions here. And which alumni player or players would you like to go and enjoy the game with in the suite?
Yeah, they got a nice little setup for you guys.
Yeah, they have a nice setup. They did a nice job of expanding it. They put an outside deck area where we're like outside, we have inside. It's really big, and we can communicate with the fans. You know, they're yelling at us during the game. A lot of fun. Who would I like to watch the game with? I love being surprised and seeing some of my old teammates come back when you don't know they're going to be there. They just show up, and, you know, you never know who you're going to run into there, week by week. But do they provide it for us every game? No, we're only allowed 3 games a year to go with one other person. So,
Majik,
it's limited.
You and I are like buddies now, right? This is the 3rd straight time you've been on the show. Maybe you and I could hang out at one of these games sometime,
right?
Huh? Why not?
I know.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna hit you up. You probably got more pull than I do, man. With tickets.
I doubt that.
No,
this is
I
the
don't.
Magic Man.
I
everybody.
do not. Hey. So, anyways, no, but it's a lot of fun, man. The alumni suite is fun, and but I do have friends that own other suites that I stay in a lot as well. So, I move around.
Yeah, you want to move around a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
right?
move around,
But
yeah.
the Packers definitely take care of these folks. Hey, for having her question selected, Nancy wins a signed photo each week. We'll ask you to submit a question for our guest that we'll ask live during Monday's show. Look for on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. Ricardo, let's do trivia question number 2.
That's right. I need both you and Don to look out into the crowd, see who raises their hand first. Here we go. Packers backup quarterback Malik Willis has rushed for 137 yards this season. That's the third most rushing yards by a Packers QB over a 3-game span since the AFL-NFL merger in 1970. Which former Packers quarterback is number 1 on that list?
You got Jason Bino?
Man.
Not Favre.
Nope.
Well, we can't. Hold on. Anybody know this one? I mean, this should be somewhat obvious.
I know it.
folks. How about that gentleman right there? Come on up. It's
I
the
know
Magic Man. Yes. Come on up and get your Timber Rattlers cap. You get the bell. Magic, I'll let you hand
Sweet.
the hat to that gentleman as he comes up for it. Yeah, Don Majkowski, the Magic Man. He totaled 149 rushing yards over a 3-game span in 1990.
There you go, sir.
That's number
Thanks,
1.
man. Thank you.
Brett Hundley, by the way, is next with 145 in
All right.
2017.
Yeah.
That's you. You're number 1 on the list.
Yeah, I used to get out there and scoot a little bit, man. Had to make things happen.
You could run, right?
Little
you could
bit.
Run.
Yeah,
you can
little bit.
still run, even at 60 years old in a bad wing. Hey, Rosie, we need some music. It's time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. Here we go. We always like to play a game, Magic Man. You're going to try to win some cool prizes for tonight's contestant. We're going to play a game we like to call Six Pack, right?
Yeah.
This is a rapid-fire game in which you have 60 seconds. All right?
We did this last year,
It's
right?
a good thing I didn't do a physical challenge with you,
Yeah.
like try to throw a football or
No.
something,
We
or
did-
reenact the play to Sterling
We did this
Sharp.
last year, right? It's kind of like
we
trivia
did this.
questions.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. I
All
thought
right.
with you coming on, we'll just hang out, do some trivia tonight. But you have to correctly answer 6 questions about a particular category. If you do so, you win the game and prizes for tonight's contestant. He's sitting right back there. Wave your hand, Rex Heiser. That's who
All
you're
right,
playing
here
for,
we go.
right? And this is what Rex could win. This cool mini helmet, this cool Packers mini helmet, courtesy of our friends at Shields, right? A signed photo of the Magic Man. Look at that. That is from the instant replay game, Ricardo. And this cool Miller Lite Packers can koozie. That's all you're trying to do. Now, if you don't successfully get through this, Rex will have to floss Ricardo's teeth every night for a week straight.
And
Every week.
I haven't flossed in weeks.
Yes. You will have to floss his teeth. If at any point you're stuck on a question, you can pass. We'll come back to it. Ricardo, you will keep track of the time.
Okay.
But do not start the clock until we get the game
Wait,
started.
it's 60 seconds. Okay.
60 seconds. Now, you need the category, right? Now, since the Magic Man, he's got rocker QB, right? We're going to ask him about classic rock bands, right? Classic rock bands.
Okay.
And now this is what I'm going to do, Magic. I am going to give you the song title. You have to simply give me the name of the band.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Easy.
Now, he has a shot, Ricardo, to potentially set the record. I believe Tony Fisher, he's been on a few times. He has set the record in this game. Johnny Gray really good at this game, too.
All right.
Right? So now, again, prizes for Rex, or will Rex be flossing Ricardo's teeth beginning tonight? Are you ready?
Cool. Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Song number 1, Jump.
Van Halen.
Yes. Number 2, Sweet Emotion.
Aerosmith.
Yes. Number 3, and it's apropos, November Rain.
Yeah. No, Guns N' Roses.
Yes. Number 4, Living on a Prayer.
Bon Jovi.
Yes. Number 5, Thunderstruck.
AC/DC.
Last one, Magic Man.
Heart.
Yes, he got it. Ricardo.
I was a little late to push it. It ended at 34.
34. Was
Yes.
that was close to the record.
Yeah.
And we're just going to give Magic the record, right? He's the new record holder right there.
All
yes.
right.
Rex.
Hey.
Rosie, we need some championship music because you get the Packers helmet, courtesy of Shields, the signed photo of the Magic Man in this Packers can koozie, courtesy of our friends at Miller Lite. I knew you would breeze through that.
That's the only record I hold after Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So
Yeah, you
I'll
had
take
some
it,
of the
man.
records,
I'll take
right?
it.
You had some of the records, right? Well,
Nope. They were all broken.
They were all
Those
broken.
cats just wiped them out, man.
Yeah, and Love might wipe them out.
For a minute. I was there for a minute.
As they're going. So first of all, we're going to wind down here a little bit. We have something fun in store. But first, again, this is our 350th show. I don't know if the cake is ready yet, but if it is, if you could bring it out, we are going to have some cake to celebrate the big show. And I want to thank our friends at this table. We have Todd and Carol first, Ashley and Debbie Bellin, and we'll give Jason Bino a token thank you as well, sitting over there, right? But there it is. Show it on the screen. There's Vanessa bringing it out. Look at that. Delicious cake celebrating show number 350 here on Clubhouse Live. So how about that?
Sweet.
You going to stick around for a piece of cake, Magic Man?
I might take one home.
Yeah. Don't forget your wife, too.
Yeah, I'll take one for me and my wife.
There it is. Chocolate and vanilla.
Nice.
Ooh, it's going to be good. So that is
Nice.
show 350. And
awesome.
number 2, we got to do it again, Rosie. Go ahead and put it up there. Let's see it again one more time. There is the poster, right? We've had some fun with this poster since you've been on the show. Now, if you remember 2 years ago, I had a love-hate relationship with this thing, right? I love this poster because it's cool. One of the great posters back in that era. Remember, Ricardo, they had all these great sports posters.
They don't do those anymore.
They need to start bringing those back.
Yes, they do.
They were always on everybody's bedroom wall, or in my girlfriend's case at the time, now my wife, it was on her apartment wall in college, all right? That's my hate relationship.
I heard it was
with
on
this
her
poster.
ceiling.
No, it wasn't on her ceiling.
Oh!
We talked about that already.
Oh!
We
I know.
talked about that.
That's a guy that's my favorite line.
I always had to compete with the Magic Man anytime I came over to my girlfriend's apartment. There he is again, right? So anyway, so we thought this year, remember last year we gave away a signed poster while you were here.
Yep.
This year we thought we would open it up. We wanted to see if it would be fun if anyone was brave enough to show up tonight dressed as you from that iconic poster. All right, now, dressed as you, Don Majkowski. Now, we have 2 contestants. If they want to come on up here, we have Tom over there. Come on up here, Tom.
Sweet.
And we have Ryan right over here at this
Yeah.
table. Now, come on up.
Yeah.
Magic. Come on up here, Tom and Ryan. It's going to be up to you, Magic Man. Who best looks like you? And where do you got? You want them standing right over here, guys? Bill, Dan, is this okay right over here? All right, right over here. There's Tom, right? And there's Ryan. Now, I'm going to give Ryan a little extra credit because he has the natural mullet going on here.
I know. I saw that right away.
But
And-
Magic Man,
And unfortunately, what's this gentleman's name?
this
What's
is
his-
Tom.
Tom, unfortunately, my hair was orange a couple times, man, when I messed up the color. Little orange, man. So I think I got to go with the young guy there, man. You got the mullet. That's the deciding factor, man.
Ryan is
But
going to
both-
win it right there.
Hey, Tom, but you got the nose. You got the nose going on, you know, and you look good. No, you look good.
He says he's got a Polish nose too, right?
Yeah, you're Pollock too? All right. No, but I
So-
like my man. He's got the jersey with the sleeves rolled up, man. You look good. He's got the towel and the mullet and the ball hanging from his wand. That's pretty good.
That's
yeah,
the winner right there.
That's outstanding. Yeah,
How about
that's
a round
good.
of applause? I'll come up, both of you, after the show. Maybe after the show, you think you could pose for a picture with both of these guys?
Yep.
You okay with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll get you
Thank
a prize
guys.
after the
Hey.
show, both of you guys. How
Thank
about
you
that?
guys. You look great. Thank you.
That's not the only one who reenacted the famous pose. Rosie, put this picture up if you wouldn't mind. There you are, dressed as yourself from that iconic poster. Now,
Yep.
what in the world is going on here?
Okay, so the Packers called me up this offseason, right? The marketing department, and they said, hey, we want you to be one of our lead former players in presenting the 2024 Packers season. And we're going to do it like it's an audition type thing. We had to do a little film, and they said, if you would dress up like your old Magic Man thing, that we would really love that. And I'm like, I first said, absolutely not. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, what the heck, man, I'll have some fun. So we did it, man. We got my wife went on Amazon, ordered a little mullet. We got the sleeve, or the outfit, cut the sleeves off, the tuxedo, and yeah, we did it. There it is.
There you are.
Had
Look
the
at you.
wristbands, the
Look at you.
white, yeah. So
Rosie, put the actual
Hey.
poster up again. Let's compare the two real quick before we have to sign off if you can.
Hey.
There you are now, and there you are back then, Right?
25 years old,
That's
man.
your prime
Dude, they can't
right
compete
there.
with
Yes.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is good stuff. So,
That was good stuff.
You did a good job on that reveal video, by the way. It was pretty funny.
It was fun. We had to, make a little fun of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because that was crazy.
You can still find it. Go to Packers.com, click on the schedule icon at the top of the button, and then the video still plays. So definitely show that, or go take a look at that. How about a round of applause for the Magic Man here tonight?
Thank you.
Real quick, no more up north. We don't have to go up north because there's no Packers game to predict, but we will do that against next week. The Packers return to action November 17th against the slumping Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Kickoff is set for noon. But I wanted to ask you this. When you played for the Detroit Lions, right? I know you got some Lions, little bit of Lions blood in you, mostly Packers blood.
For sure, green and gold.
Green and gold, right? You always want them to beat the Lions, but
Yep.
you're still a little bit of a Lions. You got that's family a little bit too.
A little bit.
You played with Barry Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever, when you were in Detroit, look at him and say, "Man, we could have had you in Green Bay,
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
You
Yep.
could have been handing him." 1989 was his rookie season.
Yeah.
Put him on that 1989 team with you doing your thing.
Yeah. He was a game changer.
Remember,
That-
Aikman was first to the Cowboys. Then you
Yep.
took Tony Mandrich second.
Right.
And then
it was
the
Barry,
Lions took
yeah.
Barry Sanders
And
third.
then Deion Sanders, and so Barry would have been a game changer. I mean, he would have made my job a lot easier. So, but playing with him in Detroit was awesome because obviously I think he's the best running back that ever played. And he was such a great guy, very humble superstar, the most humble superstar I ever met. So, just a good dude, and man, it was fun playing with him.
Yeah,
it really was.
You should have said,
Yeah.
"Boy, we could have had you in Green Bay, Barry
man.
Sanders. We could have had
Yeah.
you in
No,
Green
I talked
Bay."
to him about it. Believe me, I talked to him about it. So
Is there anything good to say about that? I'm sure he was probably happy with where he ended
no,
up.
he was
anyway.
happy. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was happy.
Turned out the way it was probably
Yep.
supposed to
Yep.
again. Hey, how about the Magic Man here tonight, right, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, Ricardo, Packers News app.
That's right, Brett, with the exclusive commentary, insider analysis, award-winning photos and videos from USA Today Network's Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. This Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay. Digital access to the Packers News app and PackersNews.com can be yours for as low as 99 cents, Brett,
Yeah.
for the first month. So please subscribe today because we need that money.
Yes, we
Hey,
always.
Ricardo, real quick, man, did you recover from the Hail Mary a couple weeks ago?
Oh,
No, that's
Seriously, man,
okay.
that was
Ouch.
brutal.
Ouch.
That
Well,
was
I'll tell you
brutal,
what.
dude.
I think I've recovered. I don't think the players and coaches have recovered.
Nah, that was brutal.
That was
brutal. The Bears.
Did you ever have? Wait, but did you ever have a Hail Mary pass?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just asking. Just
No.
curious.
Yeah, never did.
You got to love seeing Tyreek Stevenson talking trash to the crowd, right, as the
Yeah.
play is going on, and then he's the one who was in the wrong place, bats the ball back to
Yeah.
the wide open receiver in the end zone.
Never had a completed Hail Mary. All my Hail Marys ended up probably picked off because you're throwing it up. And used to hate that because then you got an interception on your
Looks
stats.
bad on the
but-
stats, right?
Yeah, but
Just like deflected
You
balls
have
that
to
were
do
right
it.
there in a receiver's hands.
You gotta
Those
do
aren't
it.
interceptions
Yep,
either.
yep.
Come on.
Yeah, you have to do it.
You have to do it. Well, hey,
Yep.
you know what I have to do? I have to thank our sponsors and friends.
There you go.
First, our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Local IQ. We also want to thank our segment sponsor, Munoz. Where's Dr. Sebastian again? Did I mess up the promo plug for the Clubhouse Challenge? I'm going to say it right now. Dr. Munoz, your Center for Dental Excellence, right? Voted Reader's Choice Best Dentist, Best of the Bay in back-to-back years. Let Dr. Sebastian and his team of professionals help you achieve your dream smile. That's Munoz Family in Cosmetic Dentistry, our segment sponsor. Also our supporting sponsors and friends, Piggly Wiggly, Shields, Escort Limousine Service, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Mike Thiel and Eric Lives here, Miller Lite, and the great folks here at the Fox Club and the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Programming note, next week's show, Packers defensive lineman Kenny Clark is going to be back and hanging out with us again for next Monday's show. Same time, 6:30 p.m., same place here at the Fox Club. Kenny will get us ready for that big Packers-Bears showdown. And real quick, folks, I also want our unofficial mascot, Mean Gene, continues to be under the weather. He hasn't been here for a few weeks now, so I want to wish Mean Gene well. If you're watching, Mean Gene, we're thinking about you, and maybe we'll send some prayers and some good thoughts to Mean Gene. Right, everybody? We want to see that guy back here. All right, Magic Man. I want to give you the final word. What do you have to say to everybody that is hanging out with you tonight?
Hey, it's my third year in a row. So much fun hanging with you guys. Thank you again for showing up. I mean, what a crowd. Love Packer Nation and appreciate the love, okay? Sincerely. Thank you. Love it.
Oh, hold on. The first 2 years, you always complimented me as well as part of your
Well,
final
I wasn't
word.
done.
Oh, you
I
weren't
mean,
done yet. You weren't
no.
done yet. Okay, go ahead. Say, what else do you have to say?
Job well done, buddy. He does a great job as well,
Oh,
man. Give
stop.
Brett a
No,
round of
please,
applause.
Please, Majik, don't.
No,
please
he
don't,
does.
Don't
No,
mind.
he's a lot of fun.
Please.
You're a pro.
No,
I
no,
love
don't.
it.
Well, we love having you on, right? And we got to have this guy on again every season, right? We want the Magic Man here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Have a great time with you. And keep those claps coming for Majik, for Ricardo, and the rest of the Clubhouse Live crew. I'm Brett Christopherson saying so long. Let's be back here next Monday night at 6:30 p.m. as we get ready for Packers and Bears with our semi-regular guest, Packers defensive lineman, Kenny Clark. In the meantime, everybody, how about the Mean Gene Chance? Let's hear ya.